Biden's Beijing bailout. That's the focus of tonight's Angle.
Summer loving had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Met a boy cute as can be.
Yeah, it was summer loving, and she had her a blast.
3 very productive days, very full days here in China. I visited iconic American companies like Boeing and had a wonderful tour of Disney here in Shanghai. And of course, I met with my counterparts from the PRC government. All of the meetings were productive, I'm happy to report.
Well, this week, Biden's Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo was the latest in a long line of senior Biden administration officials who made their pilgrimages to Beijing. Now, after this trip, 4 days long, it's clear that this White House is just far more excited about cooperating and working with the Chinese Communist Party than they ever have been or ever will be with the GOP. Now, Gina and Beijing established working groups. They announced a tourism summit. But I think this was the Angle's favorite.
We agreed that technical experts from China and from the U.S. would convene to strengthen protections for trade secrets. This trip was an excellent start.
Wait a second. We're going to get trade secrets protection help from China? Talk about the foxes guarding the hen house. I mean, do Democrats ever give Republicans the benefit of the doubt like they do with China? The answer would be no. And of course, all the climate change dances that Kerry's done with China, they're a complete joke. And the press spin has been hilarious. Politico cited the fact that China committed to regular conversations, and that represents a substantial step in restoring trust. I mean, this is insane. We are on a suicide mission by aligning ourselves against fossil fuels while letting China buy oil and everything else from Russia and Iran. They're swimming in oil. We all know what China wants. Of course we know this. They want to supplant America on the global stage, in part by beginning the process of de-dollarization, which would be a direct hit to our middle class and the end of America's superpower status. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the globalists, they're not preoccupied about what happens to the working class here, certainly not worried about Americans' decline in general. They're too worried about China's economic problems, which we know are growing exponentially. And they're worried, the Biden people, about managing China's decline. New York Times columnist and supposed Republican Bret Stephens is just one of many in the orbit pushing some type of U.S. bailout of Beijing. Now, let's drop the Trump tariffs on Chinese imports, he argues, because that would be showing, I love this, American economic magnanimity. Regular people, you don't get that magnanimity, but China should. Now, you cannot make this up. Think of where we are right now with our trade deficit with China. It's a complete nightmare. We've gone from $308 billion in 2020 to $352.9 billion in 2021, and a staggering $382.3 billion last year. But none of this is enough, frankly, for Janet Yellen or Gina Raimondo or Bret Stephens or anyone in the D.C. establishment. In fact, I actually think they'd be happier if we had an even bigger trade deficit with China. And they'd be euphoric if we were even more dependent on China for our supply chains. Cheaper stuff that we can buy here, right? Of course, this means China will get even richer and be able to buy even more weapons and threaten more people. No matter what happens, the answer from the establishment is always the same. We need more engagement with China. Well, is China booming? We should have more engagement with China.
We share responsibility, in my view, to show that China and the United States can manage our differences and to find ways to work together on urgent global issues. The United States stands ready to do just that, work with you if that's what you desire.
Economically, well, let's do CCP-level propaganda and encourage Americans to invest in China, because that's what Raimondo was doing with her women executive meeting today. And is China supporting Russia and Ukraine? Of course China's supporting Russia and Ukraine. That's no big deal.
We've been very clear about Ukraine, as long as it takes. I'm just not going to get ahead of a potential meeting that Putin and President Xi may have.
Oh, now, don't get ahead of that. Is China committing genocide? Oh, come on, people, don't focus on the negative.
We had candid, open conversations, constructive conversations. I was able to explain U.S. policies and our approach to China. What it is not is decoupling or looking to hold back the Chinese economy.
No, it doesn't matter. It never matters. They're convinced that no matter what happens, no matter what China does, we must always and forever maintain good relations with China. Never decouple. Never think about decoupling. Because they would rather have good relations with the CCP than have good relations with the 74 million Americans who voted for Donald Trump. Because they like the Communist Chinese Party and how they do business better than they like the Trump voters and all their old traditions. As long as they can get away with it politically, the establishment will always prioritize helping the CCP over helping any of you in Middle America. All those lost manufacturing jobs, they weren't a mistake. China's spectacular growth over the years, that wasn't a mistake. And China's ability to take our technology, threaten our position all over Asia and the rest of the world, that wasn't a mistake. That was all their policy. This would still be their policy, by the way, if it weren't for those 4 years of Donald Trump. And if they win in 2024, I promise you, it will be their policy again. And that's the angle. Of course, we haven't even really gotten into the fact that Raimondo's 4-day vacation in Beijing was preceded by China at what's called the BRICS Summit, the group of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and the South African alliance that's trying to eclipse America and the G20.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.